Now on Sunrise, Oregon policymakers are backing down on a proposed rule change for farmers. What local farmers are saying this morning. Plus, it's part protest, part celebration. Thousands of cyclists expected to show up with little more than their bike and a helmet as the World Naked Bike Ride returns to Portland. Your news starts now. Good morning, and thanks for getting up with us as we kick off your Sunday. I'm Libby Dowsett. It is 6 o'clock, so let's get right to Joe Ranieri with a look at your forecast.
If you're hoping to get back into some sunny and warmer conditions, we're going to be doing that later on this afternoon, but we still have a little bit of a thick onshore flow to start things off on your Sunday morning. Expect to see those morning clouds melt away by, I'd say, 11:30 or noon or so, and getting into the afternoons will be a lot of sunshine with temperatures right around 80 degrees. Looking into the later part of this week, there's a chance we could be looking at some light showers, maybe some thunderstorms materializing, but between now and then, it's going to be back to summer weather. Looking at the futurecast, here we are throughout the morning hours. We'll be seeing a little bit of some cloud cover, kind of breaking up a little bit along the Oregon coast by late morning, early part of the afternoon. This model is showing those clouds kind of hugging the metro area into the early part of the afternoon. Regardless, we're going to be seeing a lot more sunshine the next couple of days and warmer weather. Temperatures will be right around the low to mid 80s throughout the central and southern part of the Willamette Valley. Meanwhile, in the metro area, we're going to be looking at a little bit warmer conditions from what we saw on Saturday. A cloudy start, but sunny in the afternoon. Monday brings a lot more sunshine and slowly getting warmer. And looking ahead, I have 2 days this upcoming week with temperatures right around 90 degrees. Not excessive heat, but yeah, feeling more like late July. I'll talk more about that in a few minutes.
All right, and a couple of quick traffic alerts. The Broadway Bridge will be closed for most of the day today. It will be closed until 8 o'clock tonight for its biannual inspection conducted by the National Bridge Inventory. The Portland streetcar will not be operating during this closure, but pedestrians and cyclists can continue to use that bridge. Meantime, here's a live look at Highway 217. You don't see that every day. In a couple of hours, it will reopen between Southwest Greenberg Road and 99 West. Workers have spent the night removing a temporary pedestrian bridge that crosses the highway. There's also been some noise overnight in that area for residents. The road is set to reopen by 8 o'clock. Some relief this morning for small Oregon farms, including Topaz Farms on Sauvie Island, after the governor paused some proposed rule changes that they say could have put them out of business. Celine Stevens spoke to several farmers who credit the significant blowback from the community.
They spoke up and they spoke loudly.
Farmers breathing a sigh of relief after Governor Tina Kotek announced Friday that she directed the Department of Land Conservation and Development, also known as the DLCD, to pause farm stand rulemaking and reassess the next steps.
Oh my gosh, there were so many tears yesterday. The very first thing we did when we heard is we got all the staff together, and I don't know who cried more.
There were a lot of tears.
There were a lot of tears.
A lot of tears, a lot of hugs.
It's wonderful. Actually, it's politics at its finest, truthfully. The governor heard people, farmers and consumers, and acted upon that.
You can see we have raspberries, marionberries, chesters.
Kat Topaz and Jim Abels with Topaz Farm says those rules would have made keeping their doors open a lot harder.
It would have put us out of business 100%. Our farm is too small to survive and compete against the big guys. The only way we can survive is as a small farm and to be able to sell our products directly to the public.
Some of those changes under the proposal included things like any non-farm products sold at permitted farm stands would have to relate to the products grown on the farm, and events like weddings or concerts would need to be permitted and complete a thorough review of the impact on neighbors.
So DLCD created these rules that they said were clarifications, but they added complexity, and there were going to be new permits and 7-year reviews.
Right.
While 7-year reviews were a consideration, the state did acknowledge they did not plan to move forward with that idea. For bigger farms like the original pumpkin patch, it still would have been a hindrance.
It sure can be. I mean, we need to be able to plan for the future.
Farmers from all over took to social media against the proposed draft rules, and they say the community's support is what helped make this pause happen.
I think moving forward, anything that needs to be done, there should be farmers at the table. I think farmers should be included.
In a statement, Governor Tina Kotek discussed supporting local businesses and preserving Oregon's historic land use system. She said we need to acknowledge that some of our small and mid-sized farms need to maintain or consider different business models to continue to deliver the agricultural products and working farms we all value in Oregon. A stretch of road in Salem is back open after a deadly train collision on Saturday. It happened around 11 o'clock in the morning. A rail crew told police they saw a man walking on the tracks ahead of the train. Despite every effort to get his attention and stop the train, the man was hit. Police are withholding his name until they notify family. Check this out. It's part protest, part celebration, but let's also call it what it is, bare bottoms on bicycles. Cyclists bared it all for the World Naked Bike Ride. They met at Grant Park and took part in a ride that's meant to call attention to oil dependency, cyclist vulnerability, and body freedom. We spoke to one volunteer who made an effort to take part this year after last year's event was canceled due to a lack of support.
It was heartbreaking. I've been here in Portland for 13 years, 12 years, and this is one of the things that to me is as Portland as it gets.
If you missed out on the event, you're in luck. There's a spin-off Naked Bike Ride happening Saturday, August 9th. More than 100 homeless pets have arrived in the Pacific Northwest from the South, and the Oregon Humane Society is trying to find homes for more than 50 of them. PetSmart Charities provided a $50,000 grant to help transport the animals. Aren't they cute? Here from Texas, where there's limited shelter space right now. Those at Greater Good Charities say these meet and greet events provide a good way for prospective pet owners to meet animals who survived the Texas floods or other catastrophes.
In the Northwest, we have very high adoption rates, so when we have crowded shelters in the South, but we have the space and the capacity to send them out really fast up here, we're always more than willing to help out and get them out as fast as possible so they don't have to live their whole lives in a crowded shelter and they're able to get the care and the needs that they have met.
If you want to find out more about the next adoption event for these guys, just go to the Oregon Humane Society website, oregonhumane.org.